With our new push button on key switch, we also decided that we needed to have a little bit more protection for your motorcycle. So we added a security system to this specific bike. It's waterproof. It's all connected together in one big lump. We don't have a lot of space that we have to take up. It does come with several different options as well with this particular model. However, I don't have any, I'm not going to be hooking those other sensors up. So comes with the alarm, comes with 2 fobs, comes with the horn, siren, also a push button on ignition. It does have 5 wires, and I'll show you how to connect these in the next scene. Now that we've installed the wire harness into the ignition coil cover, we want to take the key switch and make sure we have a rubber seal that is provided in the kit first. Next, we install it into the cover. The kit will come with a lock and the nut. I'm going to put the lock ring down first and then our nut. Don't have to get it too tight, but we definitely don't want it moving around. A little bit of crescent wrench. Get her nice and snug, not too tight. It will strip out very easily. And then use a screwdriver on the back side to push down the lock tabs to lock the nut in place. And then on the back side of it, the nut of the lock tab, and tap down so it contours to the back side of the ignition cover. Plug the wires in. So here we've got it all connected already, set up. When you guys get this, you will have the plug already connected so that you can plug it directly into your wiring harness on the bike. You will have to not have to cut anything at all on this end of things. It's very simple. The black wire gets grounded to your ignition coil cover, and then the red wire and white wire will be into the positive side out, and the yellow wire will be your positive side in. So we're going to plug in the switch, and we got to make sure that the cover is grounded to the engine because we've grounded the light through the key switch to the cover. Hit the button and all should run on. We did install a red light on this particular model. We do have blue, also a green. We have them in black and we have them in stainless steel. In order to install our alarm, we want to make sure that we go ahead and figure out where all the wires go. Our purple wires, they're going to be tied into themselves. We're not going to use those on this installation. They do come with a plug, so we just turn them around and we plug them directly to themselves, like so. The black and white wire, one white stripe going down the black. This is our antenna wire. We will not hook this to anything, but we will try to loop it around the battery tray itself, and that way you get a longer reception, a better reception. The red and white wire does not get used on this model either. It's for like kickstand switch, and we're not be using the blue wire either. That does not go to anything. These are for other security-ish features. We do not have those on this particular model, so we will not be using the blue, either one of the purples, and we will not be using the red with white stripe. Those 3 will not be used, so you can cut them short, tie them up, throw them in a knot, stick them in the soup, whatever you want to do. It's not going to be used. On the white wire, this is going to be connected into our tag light switch on the power side. This wire will actually be activated for our flashers. we need to tie this directly into the red wire on the tag light. I'll send out connectors for this. So let's just go ahead and pull this back out. I'll show you how I tagged it in there. We do have wire splices and spades that will come with the kit. Comes right off the red wire on the tag light. On the red side of things, this long red wire, that needs to be tagged to the circuit breaker and not the battery. Next, we can install the green wires. These wires will go directly to the power wire on our momentary switch. The momentary switch is what turns on and off the bike. So we want to make sure we're on the power side of the momentary switch, or the accessory side, which on this particular model is on that side of the bike. And we've installed it on the momentary switch. We've cut the red wire on the momentary switch and spliced in the two greens. Now, it doesn't matter which one goes on which side. They both are a constant flow, so it doesn't really matter either way you go. Don't worry about that. Green wire to red, that's what you got to remember. We have our red positive terminal coming off of the alarm into our top post circuit breaker. We also have a brown and white wire that is also off the alarm that's connected to our top post on our circuit breaker. We'll go over and look at where that brown and white wire goes. Well, I've got them wrapped around through this front of the battery box. Up front here, I've got my green, my ground, I have my brown and white, and my red. They're all running between the battery tray and the battery cover brace. There's plenty of room to slide up and down. I will secure all these here a little bit later once everything is in the correct order. Last but not least, we have our horn, or our siren, whichever way you want to call it. It is hidden up underneath the battery tray.
It's this guy right
The red wire off of the horn, which is this one right here, or the siren, will be connected to the brown wire on the alarm. I've had butt connectors in there. They're heat shrink, so the solder gets hot with the heat gun and melts the two wires together. Those will be included in the kit. Now, the black wire off of the alarm is a ground. It must be connected to the battery negative side. Which I've done, just connected directly to the battery, because that is where all of our grounds go, is directly to the battery. We do not connect any of our grounds to the frame, except for the main ground that goes from the starter up to the battery. That is all we are connecting, and the RIP kit ground as well. The last wire we have to install is the yellow wire. The yellow wire fires up not only the EHC, but will fire up the alarm itself as well. This comes in a little bit tricky, so what we're going to have to do is unplug the EHC. May take a little bit because it's nice and tight and snug. We want to pop the covers open, so we have to remove the red tab off of the clip here. It's a lock clip, and then we want to split the case open. Sometimes these are very easy to do with your fingers. Pops it right open. And then once it's open, we should be able to slide that backwards. We want to see on our plug here, we want to look for power wire number 21. It is going to be an orange wire. You do have several orange wires in there, but we want to pull 21 out. We can use a pick, some little screwdriver, but whatever else we want to do is we want to make sure that we're pulling this one, and we come back to the back of the harness and we see which one is moving in the harness itself. We can pull it down and we can pull it up. But that particular wire we want to put in our splice, and then we're going to attach our yellow wire with our spade into the splice. Now we want to make sure you do get good contact. So once you get this thing clipped in there nice and tight, you want to spin it a little bit, make sure that it connects to the wires correctly. Once that is finished, you're good to go. You can close up the plug, reattach your zip tie if you haven't cut it off. It should go right back on there. A little twist. And it's back on. Reattach the plug. Make it click. Now the key switch is all connected again. We're going to push the button. Turns the motorcycle on. We see our neutral lights coming on, our oil lights coming on, and then we know everything's working. If we want, we start it, but we're not going to start it at this moment in time. So to find out if our alarm is working properly, we're going to turn the bike back off. We hit the lock or the alarm, the arm button. We hear one chirp. We do notice that we have a flashing red light. Once it stops, it'll slow down, and now it's armed. And if you try to start this motorcycle with it being armed with a push button, quickly hit the unlock button and it alerts you that something went wrong. Now the alarm will not set with the bike running or in the on position. Now, however, it can, if you hold this button down for 8 seconds while the bike is running, it will automatically lock the bike out, and then you'll spend 30 minutes trying to unlock the bike. But if somebody tries to steal it while you're in the vicinity, you hit the lock button for 8 seconds and the bike will shut down completely and lock everybody out. So if you want the alarm armed, turn the bike off, and there you go. Let's wait the 5 seconds till the light slows down. Now we're armed. With this particular model, the reason I like this one is because it has a shock sensor. So if somebody runs up and jumps on your bike, it will set off. It also has a tip over sensor. Now on the stand I can't show you that, but one is armed. The light starts flashing slowly. We know it's armed. So if somebody jumps on it while you're at the bar, the alarm will sound just as quick. Now there is different settings. You can adjust these to be softer or harder. So depending on what kind of conditions you want it set for. If you're in earthquakes, well, you don't want the shock sensor on. But if you're at the bar, you don't want somebody just jumping on it either. So go ahead and set that for different levels. And each kit comes with the instructions on how to adjust that out.